Well, Kimberley Kitching was just 52 years old. She had a broad, infectious smile and a whip-smart intellect, and she gave herself to public life. She made her mark too, but she had so much left to do. The Parliament is poorer for her passing. Her friends, colleagues and even her adversaries remember her as a true patriot today. No one was more devoted to her than her husband, Andrew, as she was to him. Together, they were a formidable partnership. Kimberley was fierce. She fought for the Labor Party, I should say, and sometimes she even fought with it. But she was so kind, and that's a rarity in this business of politics. Jonathan Lee joins me live from Canberra now. Jonathan, we heard from one of her best mates, that's Bill Shorten, this morning.
Laura, we certainly did. A clearly anguished Bill Shorten, and justifiably so, not just a friend and a factional ally, but also a close family friend, a friend with Andrew, her husband. His wife, Chloe, actually knew Kimberley since school. He received a telephone call yesterday and went to the scene. Kimberley had been travelling between meetings. She was feeling unwell. She phoned her husband. It's believed she suffered a heart attack. Bill Shorten, the former Labor leader, actually waited with the car or beside the car eventually until the Senator's body was taken away by the undertaker. As we say, justifiably anguished with what he saw and now what he has to try and break down, understand, and, as he said, tell his own children. He believes stress was a part of what led to the Senator's untimely death. And this morning he tried to reflect fondly on what has been a very stoic life and a life of great service.
She was fierce in equal amounts but warm to everyone, fierce in defence of her views. You know, I might say this, it's sort of, I'm thinking about how do I explain it to strangers, which is the sad thing when someone passes. She was like the Iron Lady of Labor. She wouldn't cut the cloth of her views to suit the fashion of the day. She could rub people up the wrong way. She probably paid a price in advancement, but she was her own woman.
Laura, Bill Shorten's comments there are broadly reflective of a great consensus of Australian politics at the moment. She's been described as a brave justice warrior, a true patriot, a person who stood up for democracy and integrity. The Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, has also issued a statement. He says, we have lost... He says the death of Senator Kimberley Kitching at just 52 is a deep and terrible shock. She demonstrated that her passion for her country was always greater than any partisan view. She clearly loved her country, and it genuinely showed. A number of people have also reflected on that theme. Not the least is One Nation leader Pauline Hanson, who travelled with Senator Kitching to Afghanistan.
She was a unique person. I had a lot of time for Kimberley. I'm very sad, I'm very shocked by her passing. We actually,
No, I understand.
We actually went to Afghanistan together. It was just the two of us. We ended up in Afghanistan, so we had a lot of fun together. She's a type of person, she always had a smile on her face. She was never nasty to anyone.
Devastated, I'm shocked. We've been friends for 30 years, and she was just at my home for lunch just on Friday with her husband, Andrew, and this is someone who had guts, and she was so important in Australian politics. This is a politician who would defy her own party to fight for the right things.
Laura, amongst the Senator's legacy is an act which helps crack down on those who perpetrate human rights violations. She's also passionate when it comes to integrity, and I think it's pretty important we give the final word to Senator Kitching.
But I believe that in democracies, transparency is vital. So it is something that we have that authoritarian regimes do not have, and it scares them.
Vivacious, intelligent, sorely missed, a fierce warrior here in Parliament, and one of those rare people where people from both sides of the aisle can find a consensus. Laura.
Jonathan Lee, thank you.